amazing pour-over coffee, which all of my friends love, and I love the tea. They have hot tea, and they have iced coffee, and they have sparkling water, all the things. It's so beautiful here, so come and check them out.
Well, come on down and join us at Corporate and Tech Center Drive. Beautiful location over here. You can't miss us. We're sponsored by the great Joshua Geary with Crescio. And Joshua just won Hispanic Rising Professional of the Year. Yay! He's been with us so long, and he really produces and helps us with this show.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about Crescio.
Yes, so Crescio, they offer pay what you can consultations, and they specialize in not only just ChatGPT, but they will work with your business to help you get sustainable and then leave and leave you successful. Their goal is not to stay with you forever. Their goal is to keep you moving with excellence.
Indeed. And AI is the rage right now. Joshua is an expert in AI, and he and his team can help you navigate the sometimes scary road of AI and what's happening, and deliver work with you that you won't have to worry about all the myths about AI. They know how it works for you. And what I do love, Lisa, about Crescio is the pay what you can consultations to the underserved southeast sector of our city, reaching out and trying to help people.
Absolutely. So check them out at Crescio.com.
Indeed. We're sponsored by Brandon Kirk from Planet Duct.
Yes, he's the owner of Planet Duct, and he has the largest vacuums, strongest vacuums. And what is his slogan again, Frank?
Yeah, they're stronger than the vacuum of space. And Brandon and his family, and his 3 children are just incredible. I know them personally.
Me too.
We've had a great opportunity to know them. He's a great family man. 25 years, been married to, what is his wife's name? Gava.
And she's a beautiful artist, and yes, they have an amazing farm as well.
They do. And he loves Star Wars. So if you're into that scene, give Brandon a call. He loves Star Wars, all things Star Wars-y.
Yes, not only that, but he loves the Colorado Springs. His give back throughout all local businesses in town is amazing, and we sure do appreciate him in town. They do have the strongest vacuums in Colorado,
Indeed.
Which will help you get amazing air quality for your home.
Indeed. They find all kinds of stuff in our vent systems. They've done my house as well, and so many of my friends.
Yep.
They really are the cream of the crop when it comes to duct cleaning.
They are.
And one last thing, many of you didn't know this, but Brandon has mentored many small business people in this community.
Yes.
His give back to our community is exceptional. So make sure to look them up because they are
stronger than the vacuum of space.
Yes, they are.
We are sponsored by the lovely, incredible Karen Butcher with Westco Insurance.
Yes, Karen is an amazing insurance agent doing home, casualty, all these different types of insurance. And here's the deal. She has some of the same customers that she had when she started 24 years ago. They're still engaging her this many years later, which means she has to have some incredible customer service and some attentive skills. Right?
To include me.
And me.
She's helped me a lot over the years.
She's incredible.
So we really appreciate Karen Butcher and all the wisdom and savviness that she has in the insurance industry. So check her out, Karen Butcher, Westco Insurance.
Please. Yeah, welcome to the Be Encouraged Show with Frank.
And Lisa.
We're so glad that you join us on Mondays and align with us in our goal of infusing hope and encouragement throughout the world.
That's right. We are now offering 2 free guests on our show every single Monday from 11 to 12 or 12 to 1 Mountain Standard Time. But we also have an amazing new venture that we've started this year, Frank.
Indeed. We have the free hug campaign that's starting that Lisa and I are going to go out in community, offer free hugs. Hugs have medicinal value that's really, really strong, and we want to use that to help humans.
Absolutely. And we are also going around the world on live Instagrams. So our ask of you is, if you know of any amazing business owners out in other countries or across the nation, please introduce them to us at lisa@beencouraged.net.
Yeah, make sure that you email her. Yes, and she'll get it done for us, and we'll make sure that we highlight your business. You know, really the value of this is exposure. We get the opportunity to expose your business to our growing audience and get so that you can be seen and people can engage your business.
And we do offer sponsorship levels starting at $50 on up. So depending on how much marketing you have in your budget, we would love to help you get maximum exposure both on our website as well as our show.
Indeed. We love humans here at the Be Encouraged show, and the reason we exist is to create value for you.
The real value of sponsoring our show is joining us on our mission to infuse hope and encouragement throughout the world.
Aligning missional values is very important to us, and we are looking for businesses that align with us and our values and what we're trying to give out to the world.
Yes, this is about social impact,
Indeed.
Frank.
We know how important that is in this community and around the world. So join us in our mission to create social impact for your business.
Hello, I'm Frank, and this is
Lisa.
We want to welcome you to the Be Encouraged show, where each week we reach an audience of 45,000 potential listeners
And growing.
across our social platforms and guest networks. Our mission is simple yet profound: to spread hope and encouragement, connecting our audience with stories that uplift and inspire.
So, whether you're a business owner looking to expand your reach or someone eager to share your journey of impact, our platform is designed to highlight the positive differences we can all make.
Getting involved with our show is easy and rewarding. First, you get to be a guest on this show. This is a fantastic opportunity for brand recognition as you share your story with our engaged listeners.
And Frank and I are now offering Q&A Mastermind monthly sessions. And these are not just informative experiences, but we actually help with your business on strategic insights and provide a supportive group setting.
Oh, yes, we do, don't we? And if you're looking to drive targeted lead generation, consider sponsoring our show. We offer multiple tiers and customizable options to fit your marketing needs perfectly.
We have had over 350 guests, and they have been able to brand themselves and share all the goodness that they are doing here in community.
And it's not just about numbers. Our approach opens up a space for vulnerability, helping our guests genuinely connect with audiences. This authentic interaction is a powerful catalyst for community and business growth. Take, for example, we have partners here at Be Encouraged, and since getting involved with our platform, they've seen a staggering 900% growth in just 7 months here in the Springs.
So if you're ready to make a significant impact, join us today at BeEncouraged.net.
And let's make the world a more hopeful and connected place, one story at a time.
We are currently at CoHarbor, our studio sponsor, right?
So beautiful.
Oh, what a wonderful
Love it.
place. We get Hi, everyone. I'm Frank.
I'm Lisa.
This is the Be Encouraged Show with Frank and Lisa on Monday. How you doing, Lisa?
I'm fabulous.
Yeah. We got to unpack you first. You know, it's all about you.
Oh my gosh. Well, let's talk about Friday night's fun events.
Talk about it.
I had a blast dancing at Dance Wonderland's Alice in Wonderland event. You were there. Did you enjoy that?
It was a great time.
Yes.
Yeah. Back when I was a young buck, I could jam with you guys.
Really?
But yeah.
You know how to do that hustle
I just got
moves
tired of looking at you guys. So.
It was beautiful dance showcases, but it was for a good fundraiser for children who cannot afford dance lessons in the city. It's an annual fundraiser.
Yeah, and her husband John is a world champion dancer and does incredible work. And Lisa's stepping up her game.
I
am.
Literally, figuratively, and literally. Yeah, I'm going to start competing this year. End of June is first competition in Dallas. So.
Yeah.
In
stars,
Denver.
Maybe?
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to dance with
Okay.
stars. Yeah, because I'm not a star.
You
you have to be a star to get on Dancing with the Stars. I'm a local star in the Springs, but not that big.
You guys are like our
The
Regis and
Be
Kelly.
Stars. Wouldn't that be fun if they taught us though and had us on the?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that would be really fun.
Yeah.
Fun, neat. But anyway, we are here to do the show today. We have the great Jayme Holligan and my man Oscar Vaughn with us today as well. Unpacking business and work for Jayme has been just an incredible thing. She is busier than a one-legged man in a butt-kicking contest. So that's busy, right?
Yeah. Busy.
Oscar's unpacking, losing the job he thought he loved and he thought loved him, but found out the inverse was true. And we want to really get into that story a little bit too, because I think a lot of people can relate to that. Lisa, you start us off.
All right. So we provide a platform for entrepreneurs and community-focused individuals to expand their reach and create a positive impact in the Colorado Springs community. And we're joining you live with some great guests. If you want to join us internationally, go to our website and select International via Instagram to join us live from anywhere in the world.
Anywhere in the world. Today's show is sponsored, as always, by Crescio, who offers to help entrepreneurs who pay what you can consultations to understand AI agents and use them to increase your sales and lower your overhead. Visit Crescio.com and the great Joshua Aguirre to learn more and to check out the flyers we gave for you guys. Take those with you, would you?
Yep. Show your big boss.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Will do.
So here we are, introducing
All right, my favorite part. So we have Miss Jayme Holligan, Director of Volunteer Events and Community Engagement at Silver Key Senior Services. We love Silver Key.
Yes.
So she leads over 500 volunteers, manages events, and fosters strong community partnerships. I mean, when you say busy, you're busy. We know this. A Colorado Springs native with degrees in journalism and management, she's passionate about serving seniors and strengthening local connections. Jayme also directs the AmeriCorps Seniors RSVP grant for El Paso County and actively serves on local boards and committees, including Leadership Pikes Peak and the AmeriCorps Senior Alliance.
Yeah, welcome, Jayme.
Welcome, Jayme.
Thanks for having me today.
And the great Oscar Vaughn came in last
minute, but here
Thank
he
you.
is.
Yeah, he's a board member with Honor Flight of Southern Colorado. Honor Flight of Southern Colorado is a nonprofit organization that has a mission to take World War II era, Korean War era, and Vietnam era veterans to Washington, D.C. for a day of honor to thank them for their valiant and selfless service to our country. So Oscar's a veteran with 31 years of Air Force active duty service.
You started at 16, right?
Very close. Very close.
He's black.
Oh, stop it. Here we go.
I am older than I look, trust me.
Young at heart.
There you go.
there primarily as a nuclear operations and space operations officer. Yeah, and a fun fact about Oscar, and this is the only time we'll say it because he doesn't like us anymore, but my favorite school, the University of North Carolina, he graduated from. So, yeah, whether you like him or not, it's still my favorite.
I always love them. I always like them. It's fair.
Fair enough. Thank
Yes.
you both for being here.
Yeah. So, Jayme, you're a native, but you have
Yes.
family out in Maryland.
I do.
So how did that all happen?
I do. My brother, actually, my brother went to CU Boulder as well, and when he finished up school, he got a job in Maryland. He's been there over 20 years and laid his roots down there, has his kiddo there, and probably not coming back to the Colorado Springs area, but that's okay. So
He
we're gonna
loves
see him in
it.
July.
Yeah.
He loves it.
Yeah,
I
I went
miss
to the
him.
University of Maryland.
Oh, you did?
I did, yeah. Yeah, that's my alma
The
mater.
UMUC?
Huh?
UMUC? University of Maryland? Or no?
Yeah,
Or something.
in College Park.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
University of Maryland.
Yes.
Yeah.
Trying to think of the
She was
acronym.
using the acronym.
The acronym.
Okay.
You're like, what?
What? Many years ago, so.
That's
What are you
awesome.
talking about? So Jayme, we're so glad, and for the 4 people in the community that don't know
4
you.
zillion people. What are you over?
No, there's only 4 people.
Oh.
I've taken the poll. Oh, no, there's one of them.
We shared it. Let's see about zillions of people.
You're well known in our
Yeah.
community. You've been in Silver Key for how long?
6 years now.
Wow.
6 years.
Loving it. Loving
Yeah.
it.
Tell us, what's the impetus for you joining this organization, and why do you say you love it so
That's a
much?
great question. So my grandpa actually was a Meals on Wheels client 25 years ago.
Aw.
So I got to see the magic of Silver Key happen firsthand. The volunteers delivered the meals up to his doorstep on a regular basis, and we'd come up and visit them and talk with the volunteers, and I just have a heart for seniors.
Yeah.
I think everyone knows a senior, everyone has somebody special in their life. That seniors aging is all of us.
Yes.
And so I wanted to be a part of a mission that's helping so many people, thousands. Last year, we served over 12,000 people in the Pikes Peak region.
What did you do prior to Silver Key?
So good question. So before that, I worked at Colorado Technical University for 10 years.
Oh, you did CTU?
Yeah, CTU. and loved working there. I actually worked with a lot of students that were military and
Oh, yes.
veterans and using their GI Bill, which was amazing. And started off in admissions, worked in the career services director, was there for a decade. And before that, I used to help people find jobs at AdStaff. It was a local, it's still around today, doing really well.
Yeah.
So
I was going to say, we need to talk.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I know some recruiters I can get you connected
Yeah.
with. People naturally connect with me, like, can you get me a job? And I'm like,
Yeah.
let me get you connected with who I know. So,
Yes.
yeah, absolutely. So I think everything I've done, I've had a heart for people and helping others. And so everything I've done in my career has led me to Silver Key. Yeah.
You know, being in Colorado Springs, Lisa, because I've been here for 42 years, your whole life.
Oh my God.
Add on a couple years.
Yes, I've been here a very long time,
Yes.
42 years in a row here in Colorado Springs. Lots of people, particularly when they're born here, migrate out. Why do you stay here?
It's just an amazing community. I mean, there are a lot of, people that are moving in and transplants and different folks that have come in. But innately, being a Colorado Springs native, I feel like an extinct bird. There's few of us.
Yes.
So we flock together when we see
Yes.
that, which is great. But seeing the town grow and change and all of the amazing things that our Pikes Peak region has to offer. You can't beat it. We have great weather.
Yep.
We don't have bugs. We don't have
Right.
hurricanes.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
We have some storms. We kind of have
A
rain.
little fire occasionally. Yeah.
Can't beat it.
Yeah, you can't beat it.
Yeah.
Don't you agree?
I totally
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah, you're awake.
I'm
saying,
awake.
You're with me.
I'm ready to ask Oscar
Okay,
a
go.
question. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Oscar! So I've never had a chance to hold a conversation with you. I love what you're doing at 1 Million Cups. You come to VetNet. So what's happening with you? Are you from here originally? Where'd you grow up? Unpack Oscar for us.
Unpack Oscar. I don't know if you have enough time, but let's go. We'll start at the beginning,
Yeah.
right? And I got to Colorado Springs through the Air Force my first time. This is my second time here.
Okay.
So when I chose to join the military, I was 16 years old.
Wow, good guess.
And a friend of mine had just graduated from the United States Naval Academy, class of 1980. back to my hometown, Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Oh, no, you're from North Carolina.
I don't claim it all the time, but yes, I'm from North Carolina. I claim DC as home, Washington DC, because I had the opportunity to be in both places.
Okay.
So
Divorced parents?
No,
Oh.
just my grandmother lived in Washington, and I spent summers there, and I was always much more at home in Washington
With grandma.
with grandma,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so he comes back from the United States Naval Academy, and I just saw how people treated him as a grad. And I went to my guidance counselor. I said, I don't know what that is, but Daddy needs some of that. And so I started the process of applying to the academies. And it's funny, I tell people when I graduated high school, I had 49 scholarship offers and 49 schools that accepted me out of the 50 that I applied to.
That's
The only-
impressive. Were you a brainiac guy or what?
I would never call myself smart, just smart enough to try to stay out of trouble.
What was your niche? Like what were you, with sports or?
I played sports, but I always enjoyed English literature. So that was what I wanted
Me
to.
too.
I wanted to be an English major once I got to college. And so I wrote for the local newspaper my last 2 years of high school, and was president of several different of the clubs in high school and stuff like that. I'm a little bit of a social person, if you can't tell. So when I got to my graduating day in high school, I had not heard back from the Naval Academy, and the recruiter called, and I think it was fortuitous that I was late, and people who know me would always say, well, you know, Oscar's always 5 minutes late. But I was looking for my high school ring, and the phone rang, and everybody else in my family had gone. I pick up the phone, it's the recruiter saying, hey, we got a spot for you, if you'll take it. And I did, and I went to the Naval Academy Prep School, and it was a great year. I got hurt playing football, and so they sent me home, but my company commander, James Mattis, who you may know him from other things he's done in his life, made sure that the Naval ROTC scholarship I'd had would be reactivated and I could go to any school that would take me in. So I went back to the University of North Carolina, one of the schools that had said yes. And I go in to activate my scholarship, and there were two tables. The one to my right had a very angry looking Marine, gunnery sergeant. And I just was not gonna go to that table with the way that man looked. On the left side was a table with an Air Force pilot, Captain Jay Parker, and he had a little sign on his desk that said, talk to me if you wanna learn how to fly. And so I walk up to the table, wake him up, because he was chilling, right? And I said, what if you don't wanna fly? And he looks at me and goes, who doesn't wanna fly? I said, I don't wanna fly, but what else you got? And he says, well, we're giving scholarships if you'd like to be a missile launch officer, and if you graduate from here and you graduate undergraduate missile training, we guarantee a master's.
Wow.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
So I took that deal, qualified for the scholarship, went through 4 years of inactive reserve time at University of North Carolina because I was on scholarship, and then I go to active duty, and I spent 27 years and 8 months on active duty with the Air Force.
Ever married?
I was married. I have two wonderful children from that. So my son, and don't judge me, my son turns 40 this year.
Oh.
And he is a football coach. Shout out to Shaw University, Mighty Shaw Bears, if you guys are a grad.
South Carolina.
That's North Carolina.
Is Shaw's in North?
It's in Raleigh, North Carolina, and my son was the reason I came back to Colorado Springs for the second time, because he was also a defensive backs coach with the academy when I came back out in 2019. And he went on to do some other things and work for the league, worked for the Jets and a couple other places, and now he's at Shaw as the defensive coordinator. But so for me, he's 40, and then he'll be 40 this year, and then my youngest she's 35. And she lives in Maryland, and she does, no disrespect to the insurance industry, but she likes insurance. Don't know how she does it, because she's my child, and she has this thing for Excel spreadsheets. spreadsheets. So God bless her. But
My wife does insurance. Yeah, she loves it.
Same thing with my
Yeah,
daughter.
she
She
digs
loves
it.
it.
Yeah.
So my journey was it was a journey. I started off in South Dakota and did 4.5 years, almost 5 years of active duty missile air time, and then went to do the best job I've had so far in my life, which is to be an ROTC instructor at Tuskegee University. Shout out to Tuskegee University Golden Tigers. And so went from there, I did that for 2 years, went to headquarters ROTC, and then they drugged me kicking and screaming back into space. And I did a year in beautiful downtown Thule-Greenman, and survived that. And
I used to be the accountant for Thule and Sonderstrom
Oh, really?
when I was at Peterson.
oh, bless your heart.
They
And-
used ledgers back then. They
Yes.
did not have spreadsheets.
Well,
Yeah, and cars that you ran through, you know, those Fletch cards.
Yeah.
That
yeah,
shows how old I
so
am.
I did a year there, and then I came back here, worked at 21st Space Wing, and then headquarters Air Force Space Command, and then got my first Pentagon tour in 2001. Got hired the week after 9/11. I was here for 9/11, and it was me and my kids, and then we went to DC for the first time, and I was there. My first day was January 2002, and you could still, smell everything and see everything, and it was quite the eye-opening experience. And then did 3.5 years there. Got selected for a special assignment to go to Afghanistan. Worked at the U.S. Embassy there for about 8 months, and had a great job. Very long, hard job, but great job. And went from there to my squadron command, which is at Travis Air Force Base in Northern California, Fairfield and Vacaville, California.
I'm from the
And
Bay Area.
there you go. If you know where Vacaville is, right up 80, right? And so went from there to my last Pentagon assignment, where I worked at a little shop called Defense Threat Reduction Agency, and we did what is called combating weapons of mass destruction, right? And so I worked in the nuclear shop there. I built nuclear detectors. That was the last thing I did. I did nuclear forensics.
Wow.
And so I retired
That's
from that.
interesting.
Oh, it's incredibly
Yeah.
fascinating. And if you had a clearance, I'd tell you about it. But,
I don't wanna know. I was an Air Force wife for 10 years. I told him never to tell me anything.
yeah, and most of the time you probably couldn't. So
Yeah.
it was a great job, a great opportunity, great people. Most Americans don't realize what their military goes through on a day-to-day basis to safeguard this nation.
Yep.
And so I had a great opportunity to work with great people and American heroes, every last one of them. And then went out and retired and started doing some other things.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. You're right. That was long.
That was great though.
But it was awesome.
What a journey.
Career.
Yeah,
Wow.
I can tell the story, so we'll get going. And she did want to know.
I did want to know. Thank you. And thank you for your
It was
service.
great. Yeah, thank you very much for your service.
It
You
was-
can feel
Yeah.
the passion behind
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, and there's also some things that come out of that story that really kind of unpack who you are. It gives me a better sense of, the little around the edges that I know of you, because you're very passionate about certain subjects and et cetera. Anyone that loves DC would be passionate about the subjects that you bring up. Just so you know, I don't love DC. So
I've never been.
I've been.
You've never been?
No, I've sent my daughters on field trips, but I've
So
never been.
you should come on an honor flight, one, as a guardian, you and Frank, frankly. And then both, I think people get a misconception because they equate Washington DC with the people who come in and out as politicians. And that's not the people who live there.
Oh.
DC is a great city because they have great people in the city.
I want to eat.
Well,
I
they got
heard there's
great
great
restaurants.
food.
Yeah.
Yes,
Good
I'm all about
seafood.
food.
They're great humans. They are
I've
great
never
humans.
heard anyone tell me they want to go to DC to eat.
I
Some of
do.
the
In
best,
Louisiana.
Some-
I
New
want to
Orleans,
go to New
New
Orleans. I
Orleans.
want to know.
some of the
Right?
best, some of the best restaurants in the world are actually in DC.
why I
our
said
money,
this.
they probably should have.
Oh my
something.
God.
But anyway, let's get back on
Yes,
it.
Miss Jayme, Queen Jayme, in the house.
Let me segue from that, jeez.
Yeah, Jayme, you are doing some wonderful work in our city. People that don't know Silver Key
Yeah.
and what you guys do, give them a summary of that great organization and why it matters so much in
So
here.
Silver Key is the #1 senior resource in the Pikes Peak region. We started in 1970, so over 55 years ago.
Wow.
Helped over 12,000 people last year in the local area. And we have a whole wide array of services, everything. We're best known for our transportation, so you probably see our vans and shuttles and buses around town. We've got our nutrition program, Meals on Wheels. We make up to 500 meals a day for local seniors. We have
Wow.
13 cafes that are really great gathering spaces for seniors to have a fresh meal and that social conversation, that connection. We've got a
13
really,
cafes throughout
throughout the,
town?
yeah, 13
Yeah.
throughout
I
town.
haven't been there.
Yeah.
Have you been?
I've been to the one on Maury.
Yes, we
Yeah.
are.
Well, yeah, I know
Yeah.
that, that's
Yeah.
your headquarters,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
there's others
Yeah,
though.
we
Yeah,
have as
no, I
far,
haven't been to those.
far west as Woodland Park,
Mm-hmm.
up there at that senior center, up in Monument at our Tri-Lakes location.
Okay.
We have down at the Fountain Valley Senior Center, and then all throughout the middle of the town.
Cool.
So-
But I want you to tell these people though, because the story behind Silver Key,
Mhm.
because most people hear the name and they
Yes.
think, well, I'm getting silver, right?
Yes.
And the key to gray-haired people or
Oh.
something like that. But there's a story.
Yes, there
And also
is.
tell people your CEO, his origins at Silver Key
Sure.
is quite the story as well.
Frank, good memory. Yes.
It comes up occasionally, he remembers
that's
golden
amazing,
nuggets.
guys. Amazing. So yeah, Betsy Myers-Burroughs is our founder. She actually, ironically, had a dream one night. And so she had a dream literally above the clouds, looking down, and had a heart for seniors, and saw actually a door and a key. She ultimately wanted to open the door with a key. So that's how she came up with the name Silver Key, and looked down on seniors and community. She started off once again helping out with the rides and the meals, and now it's so much more. We have a whole plethora of services. Once again, nutrition, transportation, health and wellness, thrift store, companionship program, all the things that we offer. You gotta look at our website, silverkey.org.
You have
But-
some food pantry stuff
We
too.
do our food pantry, so we actually are the largest food pantry in southern Colorado. We serve over 1,400 clients every month,
So
and up to
great.
300 to 400 kids. So kiddos come in with the grandparents, so multi-generation.
Yes.
And really, we've got amazing activity centers, so people can come and play games, get trainings, have fun, and just really engage with one another. So our activity centers, both North and South Campus, are really fantastic. And our president and CEO, Jason DeBueno, his grandmother was involved, and she was a Silver Key client years ago. So as a little kiddo, he used to ride the Silver Key bus with his grandma.
How cute.
So he had that transportation connection. I had the Meals on Wheels connection. And usually when you talk to somebody from Silver Key, they have some sort of connection or a true heart for seniors.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
So what services, are they free, low cost? How
Good
does it
question.
work for seniors?
Yes.
And what's the qualifying age of a senior?
So we generally work with individuals that are 60 and older, but we ultimately will, anybody that identifies as a senior. So if they're 59 and a half and they call in, our 719-884-2300 number, we're gonna be able to work with them. So they get registered. We work with all socioeconomic, Frank's like raising his hands, like
Yeah.
double hands.
He's like,
Okay.
I'm really old.
But they essentially get registered, and then we identify their needs. So we have funding that comes in at the federal, state, and local level. And so, for example, our Colorado Department of Transportation, we have rides available, a suggested donation of $5 each way for seniors, but it's really closer to $40 each way. So we incur that cost. We don't want to spread it on to the clients. We call them members.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we've got lots of great services. People just
That's
need to
a
call
great
ahead.
deal, $5, because Uber is probably $35
Yes.
each way.
So if
you
they're
know.
able to do that, and it's not required for the donation, it's
Right.
encouraged.
It's
We have
encouraged.
we have
Sure,
the
yeah.
funding.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's really great programs that people can look into. They would call our Silver Line. Our Silver Line number takes up to 2,300 calls
Wow.
per month. And it could be everything from, hey, I want to become a volunteer. It could be somebody that wants food or rides or whatever the case may be. And then it could be somebody in dire straits that's, ultimately, just escaped from their son's basement and they haven't eaten in 2 days. So we see the whole gamut of things happening. And that's what's great about Silver Key with our staff and volunteers is they're trained for that type of thing. We have individuals on staff and volunteers that go through mental health first aid training. They're equipped with any spectrum of situation that comes about.
And what about the housing?
Housing's the big one, thank you. So we actually have 2 locations in town. We have our location over by Patty Jewett, the Colorado Springs Senior Center. We call it the Silver Key at North Hancock.
Yep.
So that's 33 units. We've had that since the 80s.
Yep.
Then our second facility we opened
Woo!
in December.
State-of-the-art, baby.
The ribbon cutting, 50 units.
Are they all full already?
And they're all full, 13 of them for veterans, so that was amazing. So we want to be part of the affordable housing solution for seniors in the local area.
It's a big deal.
It's a huge deal.
Uh-huh.
A lot of landlords are hiking up the cost of rent.
Right.
Seniors are becoming evicted, becoming homeless.
Yeah.
They're having hardships with paying for rent, and life's expensive. Adulthood is expensive.
Yeah.
Whether you're adult, whether you're senior, whatever the case may be. And so we're really excited to have the housing facility right at Murray and Fountain.
Yeah.
It's on the southeast end of town,
I've
and
been
individuals
there.
can see it.
Really,
Yeah.
really neat.
Thank you.
Yeah. Another question?
I can. You need me to have one?
No, I
Okay.
don't need you to have one.
Alright. You were trying to pull one out of me.
Right, before, you did a great job, you rocked that. So, great question. Yeah, we have a great time together,
Yeah,
right?
you do.
Yeah.
Never a dull moment.
Never.
Oscar, honor flight. I am loving this show today, guys, because what both of you do in real time is so incredibly important, and many people don't know about it. So we're honored to be able to get this message out to humans today. What was the impetus for you joining the Honor Flight Board and becoming as active? Because you talk about it all the time.
Yeah, you
So
do.
what-
Great
what-
clothing everywhere.
Oh, yeah, I know, yeah.
Yes.
And really, Honor Flight started out as a labor of love for me, and also my spouse, Cindy Long, who is the board chair. When we lived in the DC area, we lived in Herndon, Virginia, and on the weekends is when normally Honor Flights come in from May through October. They come in on the weekends. And so I would volunteer, as Cindy would, to serve as guides on Saturdays, because that's usually when Honor Flights will come in. They come in early in the morning, they do a quick tour of DC, get back on a plane and fly back home. If they're close to DC, they can do that. The reason we do 3 days here is just because it's such a long flight
Right.
there and back.
Yeah.
So we make sure we break it up, and then we want to make it a meaningful experience. But for me, it's because as a veteran, you get to see what others don't. We talk about things like mental health, we talk about PTSD, we talk about all of the service things that people say. So when people come up and they say, thank you for your service, every vet will say thank you, but we also know that the word that's missing is sacrifice, because every veteran sacrifices. They sacrifice themselves, they sacrifice their lives, frankly, and their families to serve their country, right? You don't do it for the money.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Right? But every day away from your family is a day away from your family. And those are memories and everything else you never get. And so the sacrifice piece is extremely important. And so I wanted to do Honor Flight because it gives honor to those who came before me, right? We have a long military history in this country, but those who came before me are the folks whose shoulders I stand on, right? And it is right and it is proper to do that. And Honor Flight is an organization that does that. We have to pay homage. We have to give that care, love, and concern back to those who came before us. And so, Honor Flight is not about necessarily a trip to DC. Yeah, that's part of it,
Right.
but the rest of it is sort of like what Silver Key does, right? If we build a sense of community, we look to create that sense of belonging for those who are maybe haven't been properly thanked, or they've never felt appreciated for their service. And that is primarily true for the folks who came home from Vietnam. And for those veterans, specifically for those veterans, it is important that the community, whether it's Southern Colorado or any other community, that you say thank you, right? And that you let those folks know that your sacrifice, specifically your sacrifice, was not in vain.
Absolutely. Did you mention that your spouse is the chair of the board?
Yes. So Cindy and I went to high school together.
Wow.
Graduated in 1982. Not trying to put any numbers out there so you can do the math, but we went to high school together, and then we did not see each other for 34 years. When I retired from the military, I bought this really tiny little house in Herndon, Virginia. I was going through a lot at that time, PTSD. I was undiagnosed. And was really not taking care of myself, so I needed a place just to kind of, get myself together and heal. Little did I know that a person who had been a great friend of mine in high school lived around the corner. And so a friend of mine reached out to me on LinkedIn. I don't really do a lot of social media, but I do LinkedIn. And said, I think Cindy lives near you. Come to find out, she lived 5 minutes away.
Wow.
And we lived in the same town since she'd been there for over 25 years at that point.
Oh my.
And I don't know how I never ran into her in a grocery store or a food place, nothing. But we found out we live close to each other, so we reconnected. And so it's as we've got together and then came back out here in July 2019. We've always been active in, at least for me specifically, I've always been active in the community.
Mm-hmm.
Started off when I started working with Honor Flight, also worked with a group called The Mission Continues. Shout out to the Mission Continues folks, where you work with folks who are transitioning out of the military and you work in your local community, which is really what I'm about. And so when we had the opportunity to come out here, it was just before COVID, so everything shut down literally the week after we moved into our house.
Wow.
And so, we still did little things around. We volunteered with Care and Share. We did a couple other things, but it was really hard to get something that we could get our teeth into. And so we got a phone call from a guy who used to be on the board, but he was a board member, and he was from Honor Flight of Southern Colorado, and he called and said, hey, I just got your name from someone who he wanted on the board, and he had called my friend Sack Heron Sack, for those of you in the community who know him, and he had called Sack, and Sack said, hey, I just started with Homefront Military Network. I can't do another board, but here's a guy.
Yeah.
And so he calls me, and I'm talking to him on the phone, and Cindy and I worked in different places. February's working from home, and she's listening to my phone conversation, and she goes, who are you talking to? And I said, I'm talking to some guy from Honor Flight. Honor Flight, I love Honor Flight. Why didn't they call me? I said, because he didn't have your number.
Oh.
Right? But we both went to that next meeting, joined the board. That was 3.5 years ago, September 21. And so we have been a part of Honor Flight ever since. And it has really been an honor to be a part of it, because when we got to it, it was coming out of COVID. Pretty much everything on the board had shut down. There were only 2 board members, Dan Burch and Barbara Harris, and everybody in town pretty much knows Barbara Harris. And they were very passionate about keeping it alive, right? And so we got on the board. We had 2 board members when we joined. We're now up to 13. We've got 13 great board members.
Yeah.
We had almost no volunteers. We have over 100 volunteers now.
So
and
great.
They are the people who make the organization run, and the ones who really put forth a great effort to take care of the folks we call cherished heroes, right? Because they belong to people. They're grandfathers and fathers and uncles and aunts. We were very honored to do a women-only flight about almost 3 years ago now, and it was fantastic. Well, we might be doing another one, right? So, but I think it's important that
That's what I want to go on.
You're not allowed.
I can go on.
You can go on, right? But we encourage, and we may or may not be able to do a complete women's flight like we did, but it was it was fantastic to do one, because many people overlook the efforts of our female veterans, our women veterans.
Well, especially back then.
Oh, and we have
what they went through.
made the mistake of going into the military, getting married, and getting pregnant. And they were
Right.
brought out, they were taken out of the military, either medically discharged, or in one case that I know of, they were court-martialed because they got married and had children.
So
Right,
wrong.
and
Yeah.
that's been in my lifetime and your lifetime,
Yeah.
and we don't do that, right? We don't treat veterans who put their lives on the line that way. So Honor Flight tries to make sure we do the right thing by those who served. Period.
Right.
Love it.
That's so cool, because I'm writing for Veterans Life magazine.
And I'm setting up something for Friday.
Right, and we are gonna be highlighting women in this upcoming, I'm gonna interview Rachel Langley.
Yeah.
She's gonna be our cover.
It's gonna be good.
She's a flight surgeon and owns a private practice here in the Springs as well. So, which is cool. We want articles about women.
Yes.
We really need to,
And we can do that.
yeah, I'm
Absolutely.
sure we can. Yeah, Jayme, you got some stuff coming up.
Yes.
Yeah,
Now's your
right.
Yes, I would love to highlight our senior summit for those that are joining in. This is an event happening on Thursday, May 15th at the Great Wolf Lodge.
Such a great event.
Thank you,
We
guys.
never miss it.
It's
We
so
love, yeah,
awesome,
we will
yes.
be there.
It's our 4th annual. It's going to be open to the community, totally free parking, free event, free food. We're
Yeah.
going to serve breakfast and lunch.
Breakfast and lunch.
Over 70 sponsors, vendors, community partners. We're going to have amazing information and resources to be shared. They can pop in anywhere between 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. and it's off of Interquest and I-25. So
Great
we encourage people to come and dedicate some time, be able to mingle, be able to meet people, and get the information they need as a senior, as a caregiver, just a general business person. If you just want to network in town as a veteran, whatever the case may be, we'll actually have Mount Carmel there, as well as Homefront Military Network. We're going to have a whole slew of medical companies. We're going to have Peak Pickleball out in the patio. I had to say that 10 times
Fun,
fast.
yeah.
And just really great. It's going to be a great day. So
Yes.
encourage everybody to just show up. You can obviously go to our website, thesilverkey.org, to check it out and register in advance if you want, but it's not required. And can I plug this one real quick?
Sure.
Is that okay?
Go for it.
Okay, so just
Absolutely.
real quick, and then we'll go back to Oscar. So this is our Silver Key this is our annual breakfast. This is happening on June 26th. So this one is May 15th on a Thursday. This one is Thursday, June 26th at the Marriott, just right up the road here. And it's our annual breakfast, and it's a time for us to celebrate and educate. There's a lot of new people in the community that may not be familiar with our mission and what's going on. We've kind of got a fun adjective name for Silver Key. Silver Key means something different to everybody. So it could be hope, it could be freedom, it could be socialization, it could be just anything that is special to that person, giving that person life and connection. And so we want people to come together, learn about what's happening with Silver Key, and celebrate with a yummy breakfast. There's going to be gluten-free food, so it's going to be yummy. And we just are going to have a big summer.
You want us to hug there?
What's that?
You want us to do a hug campaign there?
Yeah, hug it up.
Really?
Hug it up.
Or banner and greet everyone as they're registering?
Oh, do you have a whole campaign on it? Or
You didn't know
Oh,
that?
no.
Yeah, we have a hug
We
campaign.
do. We pop up our
Yeah.
banner, especially
Oh,
events where
free
there's
hugs.
registration at the beginning.
Okay.
And we have people as they're coming in.
You
and-
love them up. I love
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Wow. I did
Yeah.
not
Run
hear
it by
about
your
this.
boss.
I gotta run
so,
it down.
Yes, run it.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
Jason,
amazing.
tell him I'll hug him if he lets us.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's a big hugger. He loves it. He loves it. Yes.
Yeah, 9 hugs a day keeps the doctor away.
Yes,
All
it's
right.
very medicinal.
It is
Yes.
very medicinal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, boy, what a great conversations that we're having. The work that you guys are doing is incredible
It really
in this
is.
community.
Very
Such a
impactful.
military community. One of the reasons that I feel so comfortable here, because the military was the formative years of my life, right? And I've always felt very connected to the military community. You guys, do you have a liaison for the military at Silver Key?
We do have a lot of folks at Silver Key that
So you don't have a
interact.
specific
Specifically,
liaison?
no,
Oh,
but we
okay.
serve about 26% of our senior population that we serve have some sort of military connection, being a veteran, a spouse of a military member that served. So we take it really serious. All of our services translate to anybody,
Right.
but we are honored to be able to serve more than a quarter of our population
Okay.
to seniors. So
That's
Right.
yes.
Yeah, thank you. That is so awesome. Oscar, I should be telling this with a sigh because years ago, you told us something at the beginning of this is very interesting to Lisa and I. Somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in the wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Given where you are right now, what some of the things you're dealing with in life, what is your road less traveled?
I think the road less traveled, that's a very introspective question, right? I think when you get to be a person of a certain age, right, you look for those things in your life that have meaning. Not necessarily all about money, but it's all about what you should be doing for your world, your community, but also for your legacy, right? I'm old enough to have grandkids now, and I want to be that person in their lives that shows them context and meaning. You can talk about money, you can talk about achievements, but what are you doing for others? And I think that's something we should be really teaching our kids, specifically our next generations coming up, right? Not all about you. It's really about what you can do for others, which is the great thing about your organization, right? And so for me, at this point in my life, that's what I'm looking for. It's great to have a job, but I think it's important to have the right job, because those are the types of things where you can do for others that make a difference. And I try to do that in my volunteer work. You know about me and 1 Million Cups because you were one of the creators of the Colorado Springs 1 Million Cups. Also VetNet, right? Those are places where people can connect, not just about business, but also about community. And that's really what 1 Million Cups is all about. I also have the great honor of working with the Veterans Trauma Court down at
What's his name?
Judge Shakes.
Steve.
Fugel.
Yeah.
So Steve works with that, but Judge Shakes and the team down there, Kiston and Anthony, do a fantastic job. It is there for those who are looking for a second chance. And you know, life is all about second chances. And so that's what that court does, the Veterans Trauma Court.
I want to go there. I will come.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that later, right?
Yeah.
But for those who have been through it and have been successful graduates, and those who work in it now, as Steve and I do as peer mentors, it's a great resource because we as veterans see the need for it, and they understand the need for it. They call it trauma court because we as veterans, every veteran who's ever served has had some sort of trauma, and so many of us did not handle it well. Right, and I'll be the first one to tell you, it took me a long time to get a handle on the rest of my life after I retired. And so I'm very thankful to do that. And 1 Million Cups is another organization I'm working with called the Veterans Justice League, and that is Manny and Carmen and Preacher, who do a great job working with formerly incarcerated, or what we call justice-involved veterans, coming out. Many of them wind up between a rock and a hard place. They don't have benefits, they don't have a place to stay, they don't have a job, right? And that is not the way you treat those who have sacrificed for this country, period. So we have to do that. And if you have just a little bit more time, I can tell you some of the things we're doing for Honor Flight and coming up in the next 2 months.
Please.
Is that okay? Okay, so I put it back on your on your LinkedIn.
Perfect.
Our next mission 20, is this week.
Yay.
We leave on Thursday the 8th and we come back on Saturday the 10th. The send-off is at Pro Rodeo Hall of Fame in the main hall, starting at 7 a.m. We leave by 8 to go to the Denver airport, fly out at 12:30, and we'll do a complete day, all day Friday in DC, starting off at the World War II Memorial. We go to the Korean War Memorial, Vietnam Wall, the Nurses Memorial, Mr. Lincoln, all of them are right there. We take our folks over to have lunch at the United States Marine Corps War Memorial. I said that correctly. People know it as Iwo Jima, but that's the name of it. And then we have lunch there, and then we go to the Navy Memorial, and then the Air and Space Museum out at Dulles Airport. It's always a great time. We also try to see the Air Force Memorial as well. And then on our last day on Saturday before we leave, we go to Arlington National Cemetery, always a very close place to me, but also a place where our veterans can be thanked and appreciated there. And we do a ceremony there at the Tomb of the Unknowns. We come back, and we also, and the big thing is when we come back, we do a homecoming ceremony for our veterans. This year we have great friends at Colorado Springs Christian School. We're going to do it there Saturday at 6 o'clock on the 10th. Please come and welcome home our cherished heroes who deserve that opportunity to be thanked.
Is that
right?
6 a.m.?
6 p.m.
Oh, 6 p.m. Okay.
6 p.m.
I don't know the military, you never know.
Well, I didn't throw it in military time, but
Yeah.
military folks, it's 1800.
Yes.
So at 1800, but at 6 p.m. and we have a great speaker coming, General Gould, who I've worked with a couple times, used to be the superintendent at the academy. And then we've got also our big event coming up is our summer bash. That is the 21st of June. That's a Saturday. That's our big fundraiser for the year, where we bring folks in and we really have a good time. But that's really where we start raising funds. We're also doing something called the Fill the Flight campaign, where we work with certain businesses around Colorado Springs and Southern Colorado to help sponsor our veterans for a future flight. And so we work with the businesses, haven't been told no yet, but our good friends at a couple places, Wackadoo Brewery, have been very gracious with us. We also have an event earlier in June at the Axe and the Oak out in Idlewild School. That's going to be on a Thursday, June 6th, and that will be where we bring in folks who are, I think the 5th actually. It's that first Thursday in June.
Be sure to put all of this in comments because no one's going to remember it.
I know.
Okay, please.
But the big thing
Yeah.
is we are really trying to engage our community to really help us take care of the veterans.
Absolutely.
Who
Yeah.
came before
There are a
us.
lot of people who will.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, there are.
And same for you, for your
Yeah.
events. Be sure to put it in
Okay.
the flyers and
Okay.
the comments.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to wind
Yeah,
down
we do.
now because we got another show coming up after
Yes.
this. Jamie,
Thank you guys.
in 30 seconds or so, look at that camera
Okay.
and encourage our community, and then give them once again the connection
Yeah.
to Silver Key.
So Oscar and I think one of the things we touched on today is volunteerism. I encourage all of our listeners to give back to a mission, whether it be Silver Key, whether it be Honor Flight, whatever compels you, whatever you're passionate about, to make a difference in the lives of others, have that self-satisfaction, and leave your legacy and make a difference.
Indeed.
Love it.
You're on silverkey.org.
Yes.
There we
Silver
go.
Key.
Do the same thing.
Okay,
30
so I get 30 seconds. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I think in today's world, especially now, we really have forgotten how to be good humans to each other. And I think it's very important that if you have the opportunity, come from a place of joy to those who you meet during the day. I think we forget that joy is internal to all of us. Sometimes we forget that we have it, and I think we sometimes forget to give it. And it is important that we give and we share that joyful feeling, and no matter what's going on in your life, you still have joy in your life. And if you have a platform of joy, you can pretty much go through anything and come back out on the other side.
Indeed.
Platform of
Yeah.
joy.
Platform
Oh.
of joy.
Honor Flight. Go there to their website
Yeah.
and be in tune with all the things that are coming up.
Honor Flight SoCo, SOCO.net for the website.
Awesome.
We'll be right back with show number 2.
Thanks,
Shortly.
everyone.
Thank you. Hello, I'm Frank, and this is
Lisa.
We want to welcome you to the Be Encouraged Show, where each week we reach an audience of 45,000 potential listeners
and growing.
Across our social platforms and guest networks. Our mission is simple yet profound: to spread hope and encouragement, connecting our audience with stories that uplift and inspire.
So whether you're a business owner looking to expand your reach or someone eager to share your journey of impact, our platform is designed to highlight the positive differences we can all make.
Getting involved with our show is easy and rewarding. First, you get to be a guest on this show. This is a fantastic opportunity for brand recognition as you share your story with our engaged listeners.
And Frank and I are now offering Q&A Mastermind monthly sessions. And these are not just informative experiences, but we actually help with your business on strategic insights and provide a supportive group setting.
Oh, yes, we do, don't we? And if you're looking to drive targeted lead generation, consider sponsoring our show. We offer multiple tiers and customizable options to fit your marketing needs perfectly.
We have had over 350 guests, and they have been able to brand themselves and share all the goodness that they are doing here in community.
And it's not just about numbers. Our approach opens up a space for vulnerability, helping our guests genuinely connect with audiences. This authentic interaction is a powerful catalyst for community and business growth. Take, for example, we have partners here at Be Encouraged, and since getting involved with our platform, they've seen a staggering 900% growth in just 7 months here in the Springs.
So if you're ready to make a significant impact, join us today at BeEncouraged.net.
And let's make the world a more hopeful and connected place, one story at a time.
From my dad's 40-year grind as an immigrant mechanic to personal traumas such as my mom's suicide attempts, I know life's hurdles. That's why Crescio's mission is to empower the underprivileged right here in Colorado Springs. Are you struggling with sales? We'll help with leads and conversions. Or are you overwhelmed? We'll help with automating your tasks and optimizing your business for staffing. Are you ready to transform? Scan today to start.
Hello, I'm Frank, and this is
Lisa.
We want to welcome you to the Be Encouraged Show, where each week we reach an audience of 45,000 potential listeners
And growing.
across our social platforms and guest networks. Our mission is simple yet profound: to spread hope and encouragement, connecting our audience with stories that uplift and inspire.
So whether you're a business owner looking to expand your reach or someone eager to share your journey of impact, our platform is designed to highlight the positive differences we can all make.
Getting involved with our show is easy and rewarding. First, you get to be a guest on this show. This is a fantastic opportunity for brand recognition as you share your story with our engaged listeners.
And Frank and I are now offering Q&A Mastermind monthly sessions. And these are not just informative experiences, but we actually help with your business on strategic insights and provide a supportive group setting.
Oh, yes, we do, don't we? And if you're looking to drive targeted lead generation, consider sponsoring our show. We offer multiple tiers and customizable options to fit your marketing needs perfectly.
We have had over 350 guests, and they have been able to brand themselves and share all the goodness that they are doing here in community.
And it's not just about numbers. Our approach opens up a space for vulnerability, helping our guests genuinely connect with audiences. This authentic interaction is a powerful catalyst for community and business growth. Take, for example, we have partners here at Be Encouraged, and since getting involved with our platform, they've seen a staggering 900% growth in just 7 months here in the Springs.
So if you're ready to make a significant impact, join us today at BeEncouraged.net.
And let's make the world a more hopeful and connected place, one story at a time.
From my dad's 40-year grind as an immigrant mechanic to personal traumas such as my mom's suicide attempts, I know life's hurdles. That's why Crescio's mission is to empower the underprivileged right here in Colorado Springs. Are you struggling with sales? We'll help with leads and conversions. Or are you overwhelmed? We'll help with automating your tasks and optimizing your business for staffing. Are you ready to transform? Scan today to start.
Hello, I'm Frank, and this is
Lisa.
We want to welcome you to the Be Encouraged show, where each week we reach an audience of 45,000 potential listeners
And growing.
across our social platforms and guest networks. Our mission is simple yet profound: to spread hope and encouragement, connecting our audience with stories that uplift and inspire.
So whether you're a business owner looking to expand your reach or someone eager to share your journey of impact, our platform is designed to highlight the positive differences we can all make.
Getting involved with our show is easy and rewarding. First, you get to be a guest on the show. This is a fantastic opportunity for brand recognition as you share your story with our engaged listeners.
And Frank and I are now offering Q&A Mastermind monthly sessions. And these are not just informative experiences, but we actually help with your business on strategic insights and provide a supportive group setting.
Oh, yes, we do, don't we? And if you're looking to drive targeted lead generation, consider sponsoring our show. We offer multiple tiers and customizable options to fit your marketing needs perfectly.
We have had over 350 guests, and they have been able to brand themselves and share all the goodness that they are doing here in community.
And it's not just about numbers. Our approach opens up a space for vulnerability, helping our guests genuinely connect with audiences. This authentic interaction is a powerful catalyst for community and business growth. Take, for example, we have partners here at Be Encouraged, and since getting involved with our platform, they've seen a staggering 900% growth in just 7 months here in the Springs.
So if you're ready to make a significant impact, join us today at BeEncouraged.net.
And let's
Hi, welcome back. I'm Frank.
I'm Lisa.
This is the Be Encouraged show with Frank and Lisa. On our afternoon show, we are so stoked
Yes,
to
we
be
are.
here. It is Motivation Monday, and if you're not motivated by our show, wake up. Something wrong with you.
Yes.
Right? Because you should be, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we got Ron Hardman in with us today along with Zach. And all the way from McKinley, Texas,
Yes.
even though he's a native to us, even though he
Yes.
left us and we had to bring him back just to get off the show.
Yes.
Yeah, once again, thank you very much to our platinum sponsor, Crescio, for the show. When you them, you can learn how to leverage AI agents to penetrate the noisy market, lower your overhead, and increase your sales, right, Lisa?
Imagine that, what a concept.
I know. Visit AmeriCorps to learn more. Check out the flyer we left for you guys.
Oh, they need a flyer.
About Crescio as well.
Angie's got you.
Oh, yeah.
Angie got you.
Yeah.
Angie's rocking.
But Ron also has supported us as a sponsor, and we really
We
appreciate
really
you
so
doing that.
appreciate
Thank
your
you.
Yes.
your sponsorship. Why don't you introduce him?
All right. So this is your second time.
It is.
Yes, second time coming on our show. Last year we had you on at our old bunker location downtown.
Yeah, look at you. You going up to the second
Yeah,
floor. right?
moving on up, moving on up.
We're Jeffersons.
Yeah.
Yes. Told you I'm
It's
cultured.
not the east side though. So, yeah.
So Mr. Ron Hardman, who is he? Well, thank you for asking. He is the founder of Kilroy's Workshop, an independent trade school that teaches blacksmithing, welding, and life skills classes for ages 9 and up. He is also the founder of Excalibur, where they manufacture the U.S. Air Force Academy sabers. So cool.
Yes.
Among other things, Kilroy's is expanding to 4 more locations this year.
Yeah.
Woo!
I know,
Okay. And Ron just released his new book. Yeah, it's called Forge Your Future, Awaken the Maker, Discover what working with your hands can teach you about building a life.
Wow. What is that?
Not to overstate the purpose of the book, but I mean, you know,
Yeah.
it's kind of an important thing.
It is an important thing.
I
Well,
don't know
and
if
you're
that
an
could-
actor too.
Well, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Mr. Pheasant
don't
wig.
minimize that.
Yeah, it's the powdered wig. Yes. You needed me to see me in my powdered wig.
I went and saw him perform last year, and me and my family we
Yeah.
loved it.
Oh, that's awesome.
The Christmas Carol,
Yeah,
so amazing.
that was such I had such a blast on that because my wife played my wife in there. She was Mrs. Fezzican.
Yes.
And 2 of my daughters actually played my daughters in the play.
It was
So
so
it was
great, and the set that you built was so beautiful.
Well, thank you very much. It was a lot of fun. Yeah,
Yeah,
and-
you just brought it to life.
Well, and I've got an amazing staff. There are 30 people on staff who started off as students, this guy included.
Really, you're part of that.
Yeah, so
Yes.
because he started off taking classes and stuff, and so when we find somebody good, you should grab hold of
Yep,
them, right?
retrain
Bring them on in,
them, yep.
right? That's it. So that's it.
And there we go. Speaking of someone good, this is Zach McCary. He's in training in welding at Kilroy's in Colorado Springs, but he lives in McKinley, Texas, and will be working at the new location in Texas as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so welcome, my friend.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're glad to have you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're here, Lisa, with the great Kilroy. Don't you think that's a great place to start?
Yes. So
Yeah.
Ron,
Yep.
share a little bit about you first of all, because not everyone heard our show last year.
Sure.
Who are you? Where'd
Okay.
you grow up? Just your journey coming to today.
Perfect. Yeah. So my dad was actually a shop teacher. But he didn't start off in shop. He was 36 years in education at a public school system in central Wisconsin.
Oh.
And the first half
Go
of his
Pack,
career,
baby.
that's it, yeah. Fellow cheeseheads, yes.
Cheeseheads.
Get
He's a
you
cheesehead
Yeah!
I love to eat cheese.
You know what? You're an honorary cheesehead then.
Thank you,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. You have to have one. If you're going to get back in the state of Wisconsin, you have to have a cheesehead.
Oh, okay.
You have to show it at the border. Yeah. So yeah, I grew up in central Wisconsin, but my dad had his master's in special education, and that's what he started off teaching, was special education. And I start off in the book talking about something that he talked about all the time, where people get sidelined in education if they don't fit the standard mold, right? You go into education, and if you can't sit down, shut up, and read War and Peace,
Yeah.
you get sidelined in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Right.
It's so true.
And I mean, honestly, who can? It's just, I waited for the movie,
Like 800
right?
pages.
Exactly. But, it's not, ADHD doesn't come on in high school, right? I'm that. I was that as a kid.
Yeah.
And so my dad actually switched gears. His bachelor's degree was industrial arts, and he got a lot of the same kids coming through. So he went over to the industrial arts side because he could teach a lot of the same kids those skills in a shop form where they were actually, that was a better environment for them, right? Not to say that there isn't a role for special education, there certainly is, But a lot of the kids were getting, not misdiagnosed, they just didn't know what to do with them. They were a problem that couldn't be solved,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
And so, you know,
Great way to frame it.
yeah, my dad would actually send me, I'd go from elementary school, and oftentimes I'd go over to the high school in the afternoon, or from middle school over to the high school, and we'd hang out and shop. And I didn't realize it, but, you know, he had read me. He had diagnosed me, instead of ADHD, he diagnosed me as a shop class kid.
Oh.
And in our shop, about a third of our student body is ADHD. About 10% are on the spectrum, ASD, autism spectrum disorder, and a whole host of other things, including nothing. I could argue that we're all on the spectrum at some level. But the big thing is to meet people where they're at.
Yes.
Right? So we always say in our shop with Kilroy's that we make and we build cool things, but our product is people and community. Because if we get the person part right, then the skill will follow, right? But if we just teach nothing but skill, we're gonna lose a lot of people that way, because some people they just learn differently. And they've got different needs. And so it's kind of like walking up to a hungry person and handing them a tract from church. No, you give them a sandwich, right? You meet them where they're at.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the framework that we operate on. And 13 years ago, you know, we homeschooled, and there was really no spot for other kids to learn trades. And so we opened up in an airplane hangar with a porta potty up in Falcon, Colorado, at Meadow Lake Airport, yay Falcon.
Yeah.
And we went from one airplane hangar to a bigger airplane hangar and a bigger porta potty. And then we just kept on growing. Now we're at 15,000 square feet at Kilroy's. We formed Excalibur. We got the contract for the Air Force Academy Sabres and their Association of Graduates in Kayla. They're amazing to work with. And
Beautiful workmanship.
Oh,
Were you in
thank
the
you.
military, Ron?
I was not. No, my
You
dad.
were never in the military?
I was not.
Why did I think that you were in the military?
Well, his
What-
give back is so huge. And
Yeah.
We work with military all the time. So out of our 4,000 students who come through at least one class a year, about 2,000 are adults, and about half of that, military. We work with Wounded Warrior Project. They come in, like, we've got military groups that come in every month. Operation TBI Freedom, Riverdale Foundation, SRU, VA, active duty. It's a constant stream, because again, it's about the person. We meet them where they're at. And whether it's through transition afterwards, whether it's meeting them with injury, but they can find some wholeness in the shop, whether they want to be socially antisocial and being at an anvil and just use that as a therapeutic, it's awesome to see this community coming together. And I've got going all the way down to 9 years old in the same environment doing life together.
So cool.
And what did you do before Kilroy?
I was a software developer.
Oh, I knew
Yeah.
there was a,
Yeah.
that's like
No,
her
that's-
husband.
Yeah, right. And so I grew up in the trade. So I started working at a factory at 14. By 16, they had me running CNC lathes and milling machines at a place called Woodward Governor. Now it's just Woodward. And it was a recruit program. So apprenticeships are a big part of what we do, partially because how it spoke to me. I mean, that to me was life altering in my teenage years. Trades put me through college. I got my degree in finance. I had 5 classes that were honestly worth the time frame that I put into it, but I did meet my wife. Registration line freshman year.
Nice.
I met her. I changed my major 4 times and kept the same girlfriend.
Oh my gosh.
But the
At
trades.
least you didn't change girlfriends.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's actually why I chose that school. 2 to 1 girl to guy ratio.
What school was it?
Cedarville in Ohio.
Oh, Cedarville.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so good school, nothing against the college. But, you know, one of the things I talk about in Forge Your Future is seems to be everybody's plan A. And if you go the trades route, that's plan B.
Yeah.
But I argue that that's just a different plan A.
Yeah.
Right? We've got to look at things a little differently. That's not just this is the A path and this is the B path at all.
Exactly.
And so that's what I've been kind of feeding into this whole time. Even when I was a software developer, I needed trades, hands-on creativity stuff to get out of my own head and to get into space with people, and that's where community is built. Because it's really hard on a laptop to build community.
So you were making a check doing software development, right?
Mhm.
Was trades always the place deep down inside of Ron's heart where he knew he needed to land?
At least, not necessarily from a career perspective, because I mean, in all honesty, 13 years ago, I started teaching 9-year-olds how to do blacksmithing. It's not your logical career shift,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it's just one of those where it just doesn't make sense to a lot of
Yeah.
people. But it always kept me sane. And then I started talking to other people, and it was the same for them. You know, you've got kids who are lost. 2022, highest number of suicides on record in the United States, only to be trumped by 2023.
Yep.
Two areas that we work with very, very closely is the kids, the teenage years, where you're lost and you're lacking identity, you're lacking purpose, right?
Mm-hmm.
And military, right?
Very good. Yeah.
So, sorry. We get a lot of stories. You know, I met with somebody like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago now, talking to parent and kid. And prior to coming to Kilroy's, he had actually attempted. And now he's found a community of people that he can belong to, right?
That's so great.
Those stories, time and time and time again,
Yeah.
because we build cool things, but our product is people and community.
Yes.
And that can be done in a culinary institute, it can be done in a cosmetology place, it can be done doing metalworking, woodworking, whatever it happens to be. But when we get engaged in the act of creation, using, you know, those gifts that we've been given, everybody's a creator. So you get into that space and all of a sudden you can connect with that again, and you're doing it with other people who care. That's gold right there. That is why I get up in the morning, right? So, and that's also why we're expanding, right? Because we floated out an email and a Facebook post for Littleton. We had 120 some people connect to us for a location up there. So we're opening up in Littleton for this fall.
Wow.
And that's just scratching the surface. The need for this kind of thing, for not just for career, but for that connection, is huge. And then if you add career on top of it,
Yeah.
holy cow,
Yeah.
right? Magic combination right there. So,
Let's let Zach get
Yeah,
in.
Yes,
yeah.
Zach, he's bored over there.
yeah, he's heard this stuff.
I'd rather listen.
So you'd rather listen. You're right. Yeah.
So you're a military kid, Right?
Yeah, technically, yeah.
yeah.
Why do
How
you
many
say
times?
technically?
Yeah. What do you mean technically?
Well, I'm adopted, so my adopted dad and mom, my dad was military in the army, and my mom was just, my whole dad, my grandpa was military as well, so I kind of grew up in that.
Yeah.
What nationality are you?
I am Chinese.
Chinese,
Yeah.
are you? Yeah, how old were you when you were adopted?
I was like 19 months, or like a year and a half.
A year and a half old.
Wow.
Yeah, here in Colorado Springs?
No, so I was born in China, Nanjing, and like off to the city of like Taizhou, I think is what it's called. And I was left on the side of the street in China,
Oh,
and then a officer I think came and picked me up, and then brought me to a firehouse, and then the firehouse took care of me for about like a few days, and then brought me to the orphanage, which I stayed in for about a year and a half. And then my parents, who originally was going to adopt in-state, and then they lost the adoption rights or something like that. Something happened.
Yeah.
And then so they said, okay, we're just going to adopt overseas. Because there's no way they're going to take back the baby. So they adopted overseas, they found my picture, and then they were like, all right, man, let's adopt him. So, yeah.
Yeah. That's how you became Zach Bicalry.
Yes. very white name.
Yeah.
So when I was in college, my roommate was surprised. Wow, you're Chinese. I'm like, yep.
There I am.
Yeah.
And you're perceptive, right?
Very.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, do you think, I'm always so curious about this. I love humanity, man, and the complexity of humans, right? We're so complex. Do you feel that you adapted well?
I think in the beginning, I never really looked at skin color until I started like growing up. And about high school, it's like when, Colorado's a lot of white people, and I went into like a high school that was 99% white. I'm pretty sure it was me, like one other like Asian that graduated in my senior class, and it's just like when you walk into like a restaurant, it's just like, wow, everybody looks like you're the only brown kid, and it's kind of a shock. But I have an African American little brother and a Chinese older sister, so we all,
So awesome.
Yeah.
Multicultural family.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Thanks for
He's got an amazing family. He's got an amazing story, and he's such a wonderful heart. So when I I've got, goodness, I get 5 asks a week for people to work in the shop.
5 a week.
Oh, yeah. Because we hire from our student body, but I hire character first, heart of a teacher second, technical third, because we can train technical. And this guy's got all 3, right?
Yeah.
How old are you, Zach?
I am 22.
22
Yeah.
years old.
I don't look like it, but I am. Everybody's like, why are you 22? Hey.
Yeah.
So did you move to McKinney in preparation
So-
of opening Kilroy's? or-
Actually, originally I was going to college in Arizona while my family was still living here.
Uh-huh.
And then out of like nowhere in my statistics class, my dad calls me. In the middle of my statistics class, I hang up, but he called me a second time. I'm like, oh wow, that's maybe something's wrong. And so I walk out of my class, I answer the phone, and he's like, hey, can you FaceTime? I'm like, yeah. He shows me a house in Texas, and I didn't even know it was in Texas. And he flips the camera, he's like, what do you think about this house? I'm like, where are you? Like, are you in Colorado? He's like, no, we're in Texas. And I'm like, why? And it's, oh, we're moving. And I'm like, out of nowhere. I'm like, okay, wow, cool. And so then I'm like, yeah, sure, Dad. I don't care. Like, I'm in Arizona. And so he buys a house, and then I eventually drop out of college.
Were you at Grand Canyon?
Yes, I was at Grand Canyon, yeah.
You know how I put all that together?
How?
Yeah, because adoption,
Yep.
Christians,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
Grand Canyon,
Yeah,
Arizona.
very diverse too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so keep going.
And then, so then I drop out, and then I move. I have my brother, because he still lives here.
Yeah.
He flies to Arizona, I pick him up, we pack up my car, and then we drive to Colorado, then to Texas, and then we just, from there I just lived in Texas. So.
Yeah. With your family.
With
your
my family,
mom
yeah.
and dad are
my
there.
mom and dad and my sister.
Wonderful.
Yeah, you going back to school?
No, I actually hated it. So yeah, I mean, it's just sitting in the class with like 100 people is just, not it.
Wasn't your thing.
So, nope.
There we go, right? That's why he's such a fit for Kilroy.
Yeah, exactly.
So you knew
He gets
he
it.
was going there to?
I never knew him before, so,
yeah.
you know Larry
Oh.
Yonker?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Larry and
Springs
Steve.
Rescue Mission.
Yeah, Larry and Steve are friends. So Larry was actually a mentor of mine during the COVID shutdown,
Okay.
connected through Exponential Impact,
Uh,
which, by the way, if you're a business out there, Exponential Impact, you got to get involved with MSBDC.
Yes.
Go down to Catalyst Campus, all these places around, we get great resources, but he was my mentor paired with me, and it was a match made in heaven. He was such a solid mentor for me.
Larry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Steve moved down to Texas, was given a sword. The sword had a crack in it. He was contacting Larry because he was coming up here for a visit. He said, "Do you know anybody who can fix the sword?" And he goes, "Boy, do I know the guy." So he brought his dad in. This is how we met. He had to move to Texas for me to meet Steve.
Wow.
And so he came up there, and we just started talking. And the need for a workshop down in McKinney is there. And one of my staff members, he's been with me for like 8 or 9 years, Seth, he's moving down there in
I'm actually
McKinney.
living with
And he's
him,
gonna room
so,
with
yeah.
him. Yeah.
Oh.
And so all that, that kind of just came full circle then inside of this last 5 to 6 years.
Wow.
And again, you can't plan this stuff,
Yeah.
right? You talk about
Exactly.
complexity, just every little twist and turn that's happened around here has led to this. And so, anyway, and then I got to know Zach because he came up with his dad and started taking classes. And
Okay.
holy cow, the guy is.
Well, actually, my dad was, hey, do you want to go up to Colorado and build a soul? And I'm like, that's an odd question.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm looking at like Olive Garden, and he just randomly asked me that, and I have no idea who Juan was, and he was, oh, you love it, and then he'd say, you can build a soul and like knives and whatever, and I'm like, actually, I think like okay, like I never thought I would enjoy it, and I took the hammer and the anvil, and I just fell in love with it.
Fell in love with it.
Yeah.
Oh,
so-
my.
So, and he's becoming a very good welder too.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, in the beginning it was,
Well,
it's
yeah.
not.
A lot to learn.
Yeah.
I've been in his workshop. My husband
Yeah,
and I
really?
did a date night
Ooh,
fixing our
okay.
fire pit
Yeah.
barrel.
What did you have in the back of your vehicle from?
That was the fire pit.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a picture of her doing a weld and then lifting her.
Yeah.
Got those smiles.
That sounds like it.
Yeah.
It's fun.
She's even being encouraging underneath the welding mill. Yep.
That is so awesome. You know, tell people again, because first time I came, we went over to a shop together to do a little shoot.
Spotlight tour.
Spotlight
Yep.
tour. Kilroy. Why? Why that name?
Yeah. So military folks, no doubt, have a background with it. The Kilroy was here, but you take a look at the World War II memorial, and there's a little Kilroy character on there. It says Kilroy was here. The cartoon itself actually goes back to World War I. A lot of people don't know that part, and that got paired up with Kilroy was here, but Kilroy was a rivet inspector back east in the shipyards, and so he would tag Kilroy was here to get credit for his work and to mark it off, that he had actually gone through inspection. Well, in transport, a lot of military folks would see Kilroy in weird spots on the ship, and then they'd start tagging it on things with that character as well, and it took off. It went viral before social media. And my connection to it then, military family, right? My great uncle was a machinist in World War II and did a lot of stuff, and he would actually write me letters, and he would put the Kilroy character down there as his signature line. So I just kind of grew up with the knowledge of this thing, and then I found out that not many people did. But for the shop itself, I did it for two reasons. One, we should always be so proud of what we do is to tag our name to it. You know, so that's one of the things. So Kilroy was signing off on his work. And the other part of that is history is so important that we want to keep that conversation going. So I've had people ask me that a lot, you know, about Kilroy, and it opens up then the conversation about military and about our history. And I mean, we got to make the command pin for the USS Arizona Virginia class nuclear sub using a piece of the battleship in Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
Right, we got to make 1911 handguns using a piece of the USS Texas that was at D-Day. This is for the 80th anniversary of D-Day. We did this as a fundraiser for military. And we got sand from Omaha Beach and Utah Beach and smelted that into steel. The iron extracted from the beach. When you think about iron, So we did that, but we're doing it at the same time. So we had all veterans doing that. At the same time, we're teaching kids classes. And so we would have an hour carved out each day for the kids to come in and learn about World War II.
That is neat.
Yeah. So it's that living kind of, this isn't just theory, right?
Yeah.
And we can do that. Same thing with doing the Air Force Academy Savers, right?
Yeah.
We're doing that in the same space that we're actually teaching the kids, so they can see real production happening. Their teachers are also manufacturers. It's not theory.
Yeah.
But they also then get a connection back over to the military side of things. It opens up conversations that, you know, you just can't normally have because we've got natural questions being asked.
Right.
So they don't even know they're learning.
In a casual environment. That's so genius.
We're just doing life together.
Yeah.
Right?
I
This is
love
just part of it.
that.
So that's
amazing.
People ask me all the time why Kilroy is successful, and because our focus is on the right thing.
How are you funded?
Self-funded. And so we go
Oh,
through
yeah,
the
you
airplane
bootstrap
hangar,
it all? Oh, really?
airplane hangar and porta potty. Now on the Excalibur side of things, we actually had a community of investors because we've been a community at Kilroy's. So I carved out Excalibur as our production side, and I've got 33 investors into Excalibur for like the Air Force Academy Sabers and some of the other products that we make. So that's actually been through kind of our community of folks coming together and banding together for that.
So you don't charge these folk on the Kilroy side to come in and get?
Oh, they do, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
no, they pay
Okay.
in per class. And so when
Okay.
you go out there to register, I wrote software to manage our shop. That's one reason why I know Exponential Impact so well. Former software developer, I
Yeah.
got it cheap. But there wasn't any software to manage it, and so I wrote software to manage it, and it can manage other stuff too. So like a Rocky Mountain Electrical Training Institute, they just went live on it. Some other places, it'll be a commercial product, which will then kind of feed back into
So
this
it's
whole
a
ecosystem.
for-profit
It
enterprise.
is.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got a nonprofit component, because I used to have, like goodness, every week I got repeated phone calls from different schools asking how we do what we do. Well, we started the Association of Independent Trade Schools to help the 40,000 independent trade schools around the country learn. And so I've got a director who's doing that. I actually just got off the phone with somebody who is a grant writer who's gonna help us actually go after some funding so that we can coordinate together this funding to help schools get up and run efficiently, because if we can help the schools do that, they can focus then on the students.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a different approach, but every independent school that's out there, and if anybody's running an independent school, it's the Association of Independent Trade Schools. You know, we're trying to tie together insurance, we're trying to tie together lobby, we're trying to tie together course information to teach you how to run efficiently, so that you can spend less time in spreadsheets and sleepless nights, and spend more time on your students. So that's the idea there, but that's a 501c3.
That's fantastic. Wow.
Yeah. Lise, we're listening to Ron, and you know, we've always had a heart for the work that he's doing. I love trades, by
Yeah,
the way.
me too.
You know, my son owns Elite Roofing.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so he does, and both he and my daughter in the trade space.
That's awesome.
As well. So this talking about exponential impact.
Yes.
Right, you can name your company that.
Exactly, yeah.
Right, yeah. How is this explosion of what you're doing happening? 4 new locations coming in 2020. What's up, Ron?
Yeah.
It's people like this,
Yeah.
right? Because there's only so much time in the day.
Yeah.
You guys have tried to get a hold of me before.
Oh, yeah. You're squirrely,
I
very
am.
squirrely.
It's really hard to get a hold of
But
me.
I'm pretty sure I have his cell phone.
Yeah, yep. And so my daughter is my right hand, most of my left brain. And so she's 26.
26.
Yeah, so she actually is the one who went on Forged in Fire with me, and
Oh,
nearly made
that's
me,
right.
making a Inigo Montoya sword and that. And so, but you know, this is solely dependent on multiple things. One, that we've got staff who are epic, and that they match in culture. So growing up in our environment, being a part of that environment before they're ever hired, is that's what ends up making that tick. So although we might have some different styles between us, from a focus standpoint, they're there, right? They're focusing on the person, not just the thing.
Are you gonna franchise this?
Not really looking to franchise, because
Okay.
it'd be hard to control culture at that point.
Yes, exactly.
But if in a year or two we figured that part out, how we can actually do that, meaning like if we had something where somebody came in and they were training with us for an extended period of time, and then they could go out and run, that's a possibility.
Yeah.
And so I am looking at that as a
Because you're not gonna be here
possible.
forever.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? Like.
No, and I mean my goal is to get this thing to run without me.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly. So
But you know, when you get staff growing, and then we're creating, I've got the exact opposite problem of every other place in the country, it seems, and that I've got more people who want to work in our shop who
Yeah.
I could hire in a heartbeat. I seriously have like 150 people I could say yes to, and it would be the right answer.
That's amazing.
But I just need positions for them. And
Yeah.
so in each of these areas, like with Littleton, we train up some more people, we hire out of that group. Now we can actually then man there, and then branch out to the next one, and to the next one, and to the next one. And so if we can train our own staff internally, that culture aspect of it will be consistent from site to site. And
Why is culture? Because most people miss that.
Yeah, they do.
They totally miss that space. When did it become real to you that the dynamic of culture had to be something in place for success to follow?
Day one.
But it had to come
What
from
did you learn?
somewhere.
Where did you learn it? Like
Where
it's
did I
embedded
learn it?
obviously
Yeah.
within you, but what?
I'd say family. You know, I grew up in I don't have a hard luck growing up story, because I
That's
had an
fine.
amazing family.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Right, that actually, my dad being who he is, and my mom worked in special needs. She worked with a place called Community Industries, and we had over 200 people with different special needs coming and living in our house over my childhood. You know, I've got wonderful siblings. And you know, from a work perspective, one of the things that really can tie it off, this might help to kind of tie some of that together with your question.
Yeah.
You know, I've got that at home, and then I go out to Woodward Governor. Woodward trained us so well on the culture of what it means to be Woodward, right? It's one of the things that they did instinctively. They would I went through 2 rounds of testing, 5 hours total, interview with the board of directors for a multinational company at the age of 13 when I interviewed.
Oh my.
I got hired at 14. I was a team lead by 15, running a CNC lathe and milling machine by 16. But they had us going in here, and there were Woodwardisms, you know, when we had a barber on staff, and our hair had to be above the collar and off the ear. You know, we had to wear a button-down shirt with our shop coat and our slacks. You know, it's set culture that way, and it was that consistency. And then you go off into college, and you know, some of that same stuff comes into play. But while everybody else is complaining about having to dress up, I'm like, I don't have to wear a shop coat. You know, you know, same outfit, but it's, you know, you get over that kind of a thing. And so, but honestly, it's some of it's just instinctive too. You just know it.
The culture's been instilled in you, my friend. The story you just told, you were getting access to and training on culture very early.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So you didn't have to instinctually do very much.
Yeah.
It was inbred.
Right. It was. Yeah. It just feels natural. And when you take a look at it, where do I want to work? That's the other part of it. You know, I've been on teams before that were not great cultural fits.
Yes.
You know?
A lot of us have.
We all.
Right, exactly. And you get into like trades got a really bad rap.
Yeah, they do.
But some of it's been earned.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It comes from somewhere.
Right. And so like one of the things that we do in our shop is you come in there as part of the safety lecture, we say no swearing or bad jokes, but bad jokes are allowed and encouraged.
Yes.
That's in our safety rules every time, and I don't care whether you're 90 or whether you're 9. That's my expectation, because if I can trust this, I can trust these.
Yes. I love that.
And then the first sign I cut out from our plasma table was self-control starts with the tongue.
Oh my gosh.
Damn.
Yeah.
That is
That's a
so
mic drop.
powerful.
Yeah. Because it's true.
It is true.
And so I've got kids who would run their mouth out, you know, cussing, saying nasty stuff to people and stuff like that, but in our shop, you're not allowed to do that. The other thing you're not allowed to do is say that you can't do something. I'm the only one who could say that, and it's because you're going to cut off a hand.
Yes.
But if the more appropriate thing to say is, how do I do it, right? I mean, I just challenged him this morning because he came out and said, so this is going on, what's going on? I said, you tell me. We went over there and he went through the diagnosis. He's got more ability than he thinks.
Yeah.
And I've got people who come in, and this is any age, they come in and they have no confidence or belief in themselves and what they can do. And so their default is, I can't do that. We get rid of that talk. And then I tell them that they can borrow my confidence in them for a while until they find their own, right? Yeah. And so that's one of the things we talk about in here is that sense of accomplishment that you get from actually getting in there and solving your own problems.
I love, so cussing has always bothered me. And the way you said that, that it's self-control. That is the best way to put that, because it always irritates me. And I'm like, gosh, is that all you've got? I really only heard one English word in all of that. And I, like, especially in high school.
Be more creative, right?
Be more creative. Like, do you have anything to say? Do you have any intelligence up here? Because I really am not seeing you as a human once you start cussing.
Yep.
And they don't know any better, though.
Right. And if you can strip that stuff out of there, the other part of that beyond just the personal side of things is there's also it kind of comes with body language almost as well. It's the positive environment, right? We're creating something, we're not tearing something down.
Exactly.
Right? And so if you can actually be affirming in your speech, right? You got your neighbor sitting right over there, be affirming to them, help them out. We're again doing life together, and so just be a part of that. Yeah, and so if you can create that type of an environment, again, culture, right?
Do you have a mission slogan, or what? How do you teach this? Like, what do you lead with?
Students, because they grow up in it.
Yeah.
They live it.
Okay.
And that's why
So
it's
it's
nice
a
to be able to
vibe.
hire from. Yeah, I've had people tell me the moment they walked in, they felt something different.
Yeah.
And I love that, right?
Yeah.
That's because so many people don't have that anywhere else. I had a gentleman come to me one time, and he said he's going through a really rough patch, and he said, "If you see me in your shop, it's because I want to take a drink." He was in the shop a lot through that season of life, but it's what he needed right then and there. And what I don't want to have is one person who doesn't know that story to be a negative downdraft for this guy.
Yeah.
Right? Or, you know, that happens with kids around, with adults. It doesn't matter what age we are. We all go through stuff. So.
It's human.
Yep.
Yeah. Man, I really thank you. These are the kind of conversations that humans that are listening need to be engaged in and involved in and hear.
Yes, sir.
Right? Because it's a totally different perspective. But I want to hear it from you.
Yes.
I really
Okay.
do. I want to hear what Kilroy's means to you.
So originally, I had no idea what Kilroy's was all about, and I listened to Ron, like his stories, and like how you can change a kid's life just by smiling at them or like being kind to them or talking to them, and he was telling me about this one student who was like suicidal, and I have experience in that, like when I was, gosh, like I think eighth grade, someone knew I attempted to take my life.
Well, what
And-
was that about, Zach?
So, I mean, nobody knew I was struggling, so that's the biggest thing is, why I'm able, because, sorry, this is kind of tough.
Yeah.
Nobody knew I was struggling. I always like kind of just pushed it down, and I was also on medication. I'm not trying to blame the medication.
Right, yeah.
But like, I was misdiagnosed. I was on the wrong medication, but yeah, I mean, I was just really struggling inside, and I got bullied a lot for like, looking different, sounding different, oh, your parents are white, oh, you're like, that doesn't make any sense, like just,
Yeah.
Random stuff. Kids are mean, and eventually that just caught up to me, and I attempted to take my life, and went through therapy, and I went through all the steps to get out of it, and I promised myself, hey, I'm going to save one person from committing suicide. And freshman year, my best friend, he was like, a little suicidal, and I talked him out of it, and we became best friends, and we've been friends for like 7.5 years.
Aw.
And then just like a year ago, I saved like 2 other people trying to take their life. So I mean,
Wow.
God said, I promised God, I was like, hey, I'll save one person who made the same mistake. And God was like, no, you'll save 3. And I'm like, okay, sweet. So, when Ron was telling me, oh, why would because like when you think about a suicidal kid, you wouldn't want him around knives or anything. But like in reality, you just don't want that kid, like, cause when I after my attempt, everybody walked around eggshells. Everyone was like, oh, I don't want to set him off. I don't want to, trigger him. And that was the exact opposite of what I wanted. I wanted everybody to, be normal. Like, hey, I'm not gonna do it. Like I'm telling you I'm not gonna do it. But they don't know. Your parents don't know. And so, one thing I kind of wish I had was, Kilroy's, because like nobody would have even treated me differently. Like I'm working with hot metal, knives, and swords, and like pointy things. And like, as a kid who was like going through that, it's like, hey, this is normal. I'm not gonna, take a knife and cut myself or whatever. I just want to be normal. Like I want to have fun. I want to just stuff like that. So I listened to that, and I was like, dude, I could help, kids that have gone through, all the trials. Like even if the kids are even on like the bottom, like the lowest of lows, like I would see them like, hey, you doing okay? And like I wish, because I'm very good at hiding emotions, and I just wish somebody would have said, hey, are you okay? Like everything's gonna be okay. Because like nobody, if you don't know what signs to look for, like you're not gonna ask that. And like for me, I know exactly what signs to look for, and it's just,
Yeah, that's so awesome. Culturally, Chinese people are much more unemotional or
Yeah.
I'm the
expressive.
exact opposite. Oh my gosh, when I was a baby, I would cry all night.
You're the exact
I was
opposite.
very emotional.
Yeah.
But that's because you lost your mama and your dad
Mhm.
so young, and
Yeah.
that's the inner trauma at that age that you lost them.
Yeah, and
So
like
that's
even-
why you would act out that way.
Even in the beginning, it was like as soon as I was born, I was abandoned. And I was left in an orphanage, probably
Yes.
not taken care of, and then I was brought from China to a whole new country, and immediately I had to have surgery,
Yeah.
over my cleft lip and palate, and
Yeah.
like, I've had over 20 surgeries in my life. I'm 22 years old. Like, do the math. That's a lot.
Yeah,
That's
almost
a
one a year.
Yeah, one a year.
Yeah,
I've had 20 plus surgeries in my life, and like from being abandoned to, being ripped open and stitched back together, like, that's a lot of trauma. Even though I don't remember it, deep down, I remember it.
Your body
Yeah.
knows. Yeah.
And we're so glad you're here.
So much.
And he said something really, really important that I want to visit, and because this is probably somebody who's looking at this right now. He can see when somebody's going through something in a way that other people can't. So in 2017, I had my own journey down that road, and I talk in there about the first person Kilroy's pulled out of the muck was me. I can see it. I've got a number of people around who can see that. There are people who don't admit to that, who have let their heart get to that point where they're just like, I'm without hope, right? It's that loss of hope, the loss of purpose, the loss of identity. And once you've been there, you can read it. And so it's a very, very important part of when I talk about doing life together. It's not hyperbole, and it's not something that we just plaster on a board. It's we get to know you, because somebody doesn't necessarily have to have the trauma of the past to be there in the present, right?
Yeah.
But once you've been there, you can recognize some of that in another person, and you know how to address it a little bit better. I used to think, so-and-so committed suicide, what a selfish act. Not to the person who's in it.
No.
It's the most selfless thing they could possibly think about doing at the time, but it's not, because they're not thinking logically, right? It's a different part of the brain that's going through stuff.
Right.
And so for anybody who's watched it, well, if you're there, don't. Wait till tomorrow. Talk to somebody and figure out the purpose. You have a purpose. Everybody has a purpose. It's just you haven't figured it out yet. But wait until tomorrow. Sleep. Get up tomorrow. It'll be a different day. And it doesn't matter what's going on. Tomorrow comes. And you just need to get there. Right? Sometimes it's as simple as that. Let's just put it off a day. And then go talk to somebody that next day. Or talk to somebody now. Pick up the phone. Talk to somebody now. But it's got to be somebody who actually will understand where you're coming from. So who you talk to is important. It really is. And so I was talking with a guy. I normally don't take outside interviews. And I just started pulling on a thread, and he just about started breaking down crying in the lobby at my shop. So I said, let's go for a drive. And sure enough, I yanked that thread. And that's where he was at. And I said, we're sitting in the King Soopers parking lot in my truck. And there was a lady walking by. I said, do you know what she's going through right now? And he said, no, what? I said, so she's going to go home to an abusive house, both verbally and physically abusive tonight. She's afraid for her kids and their welfare, but she doesn't know how she's going to get out of this situation. He goes, well, how do you know that? I said, I have no idea. That's why you can't tell. Just by looking at somebody from the outside, because, and I talk to military about this all the time, you can never compare your insides with other people's outsides.
That's right.
Because you don't know what's going on in his heart, what's going on in my heart at any given time. But we can read it on each other when we do life together. So community isn't just a thing, it's not a slogan. We do life together because that's how we can work some things out. That's how you see the non-Facebook veneer.
Yes.
And so having guys like this, strong character, heart of a teacher, and he gives a rip, right?
Yeah.
He genuinely cares, right? It's life affirming. Then you can feed that back in and then help the next person do the same thing and pay it forward. Because that was me in 2017. I didn't get to the point of attempt, but boy did my head get there, with some stuff. And so, and once you've gone there,
Yeah, we're talking 8 years ago.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And from the outside looking in, nobody would know.
No.
But that's the whole point of it, right?
Yeah.
That's why people are surprised when somebody takes their life. And it's not your economic status, it's not your Facebook friend list. Anthony Bourdain killed himself by all
The
that's
most famous
right.
Cooks in the world.
Right, exactly. And so, but, you know, having a
Well,
purpose.
and Robin Williams, that one really shocked me too.
Yeah. And then just, I talked to a parent, 14-year-old friend of their kids, killed himself down, you know, about 2 months ago.
Yeah. You talk about 8 years ago, one of my very best friends on earth killed herself. Yeah, one of Michelle's and my very, very best friends.
Yep.
And then, you know, 2 months before that, one of the young ladies that she was working with, trying to pull her out of that situation, killed herself.
Yep.
You know, what a year.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, it was just like totally devastating.
Yep.
And when you were mentioning some statistics, 2022, the highest suicide ever.
Ever.
2023 topped it.
It did. Yep.
And we're still in that trend.
It is, and you know, people pointed initially to COVID as being, you know, with the lockdowns and stuff like that. Now that didn't help matters, but if you look at the graph, it's going like this the entire time.
Absolutely.
Right, and so it's not the solution.
No.
Right, purpose, identity, hope for the future, those things right there. And then the other part of that, which has been huge for me, is then giving back and working with other people.
Yeah.
And doing that kind of thing too, because you get engaged in that. There's purpose in that, to his earlier point.
And here's the stories that are undergirding Kilroy.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
Right, that's propelling the message of what's happening. It's more than trades.
It's
more
way
than
more
well
than
doing.
that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So we build cool things, but our product is people and community. So
I love that tagline.
So when I'm trying to get to the heart of it, you know, that's it. So I actually share some stories in here. Names changed, kind of some of them are mashups because I never want to actually broadcast that, but it's story after story after story. And the cool thing is that they're willing to share it and walk into that. And you know, I had somebody say that who lost kids lost a friend, that they couldn't help but think if only there was a Kilroy's around, we might not be having this conversation right now.
He just said,
Yeah.
If only there was, right? And so that's what cemented it for me in doing these neighborhood schools, because the problem was proximity. The problem wasn't that there wasn't something there, it was that it wasn't close enough.
right.
So if I can do these neighborhood schools,
Yeah.
When
then
you
we
say
can expand
neighborhood
that.
schools, are you talking about brick and mortars? Because this work doesn't work apart from brick and mortar, right?
Yeah, it doesn't, no, and so,
So-
like where we got up in Littleton, you know, 2,500 square feet, down in McKinney, it's about 2,500 square feet. Monument, we're actually partnering up with D38, they've got a new facility up there.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
we saw that workshop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so I'm working with Jess McAllister up there,
Ellicott.
Ellicott, and so there's all kinds
You
of.
been there
I
at
have
their
not been out
workshop
there yet,
yet?
they actually came out to meet with me,
Yeah, they're cool.
yeah, and so,
They're very open-minded to the trades.
yep, same thing behind Exponential Impact. And so this can continue, this is something we've got the model for, we've got the software to run it, we've got the people and the systems in place to be able to execute this. And so that's what actually gives me the possibility to open up these other sites. And what I would love to see is for that to just take off like wildfire. And that, one, we solve some of the trades problems that we've got, because it's actually a national security issue.
Yes, absolutely.
It's not just a jobs issue. But then the other part of that, the bigger part of that, is if we solve the heart issue for people, or more importantly, we just set the environment for them to do that themselves in community, right? Because this isn't, people have said, oh, you know, you're doing great work. No, I set the environment. They do the great work.
You're doing great work, Ron Hardman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I set the environment. The people who are coming there, like seriously, the community of folks at Kilroy's, oh my word. Like just the attendees, they come in there and they're just, you know, Stanley walks in, everybody's like, Stanley, it's like Norm at Cheers. You know, Cyrus, he's an amazing 15-year-old in the shop, right? He's coming in a couple days a week, and what a tremendous young man. And he can help people in ways that I can't, coming alongside of him. and he's coming there and taking classes.
Yeah.
Right? Stanley's coming in there, he's taking classes. You got all these people who are coming and doing life together. It's no longer about me, and to some extent, it's not as much about him. He has to continue setting that stage and being that person, that conduit, to set the standard and keep it. But at that point, it's life.
But the freedom is that it's not about you. But I will tell you, my friend, you need to allow God to elevate the name of Ron Hardman for the sake and the purpose of creating space for other humans. And that's okay.
Yeah, yep.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. And we always want to poo-poo that and say, oh,
so it's the only reason my name is on the book. Honestly, so it's the only reason that it's on there is because I can actually help promote that.
Is this your first book?
No, I've written a half dozen programming books, published in 18 languages. So it was kind of fun, you know, to be able to do that.
So
but
it's
then,
a best-selling author.
Yeah. I had a book on the Amazon top 100 for a year under the computer science. Yeah.
All right.
So it was a lot of fun, but this is not that.
Yeah,
It's substantially different.
Totally different.
So.
Forge your future.
Yes.
Yep.
Awaken the maker.
That's
I
it.
love that.
I do too.
Go.
I'm looking forward to reading it.
Me too.
All right, so Zach, I'm going to start with you
Okay.
since you're the newbie on the block here. So our whole mission is to infuse hope and encouragement to the world. So we would like you to look at that camera and encourage the world.
No
I don't even know
pressure.
what to say.
You've been doing it the whole show.
Yeah, you have, actually.
Let me just start with this. You guys got this. You're not alone. I mean, there's always somebody you can talk to. And yeah, there's always somebody that loves you.
That's awesome.
Mic drop.
Take a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan, you're next.
So I found through the act of creation, I could connect with who I was. And whether you think you can or you can't,
You're right.
you're right. Except borrow my confidence in you for a while and get out there and do it anyway. And there's always help, there's always people around and stuff like that. Matter of fact, it's better when you can reach out and actually pull other people into your project, like her coming into the shop and making something. When we can do that together, it's very meaningful. Pull your kids in, pull your neighbors in, pull your friends in. Do those types of things where you can actually create and build together and build something amazing, build something cool, but it's not about the thing, it's about the people. So just remember that part of it. That'll give you hope and direction for the future. And, got that identity thing going on. Yeah.
Love it. Thank you.
It is that identity thing. Before we wrap.
Yes, so let's spotlight our sponsors once more. Westco Insurance. Miss Karen Butcher loves helping people save and get the best service ever. Contact her through our website at beencouraged.net. And also Planet Duct, Mr. Brandon Kirk. Him and his team offer astronomical air duct cleaning services with the most powerful vacuum trucks in Colorado.
Stronger than the vacuum of space. Yes, they are, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
That is awesome the way we rock that, right? Yeah. Right. Visit us at beencouraged.net to become a sponsor like our incredible friend here at Kilroy's does, and get your business name out to our growing audience. Our platinum sponsor has seen an aggressive 900% growth in their business in just 7 months. Like and follow us on Facebook and LinkedIn and join us on our journey to extend hope and encouragement and help people realize their potential through networking, collaboration, and community involvement. And remember, if you want to join us internationally, go to our website and select international via Instagram, and you can join us from anywhere in the world. And don't forget, Smash Media with Angela right there.
Best hair in town.
She got some amazing hair, and her and her husband do amazing work in getting your business front and center out to the world as well. We're so proud to work with you.
Yes.
So go to Smash Media and check out the services that they offer for you as well.
And don't forget, it's Small Business Week. We are super excited to launch launch that this afternoon, 4 o'clock. We'll be at Cause City Hub and all week long, so check out SBDC's. Their website has all the details. I believe the AI event is sold out already.
Yeah, on
Yeah.
Wednesday over at, where is it?
Erie Castle.
Yeah.
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 Erie Castle.
Right? Did I say it wrong?
Glenary?
Glenary.
Glenary.
Yeah.
Yes. I knew it was a castle.
That sounds like a Halloween thing.
I know.
I'll interject here. Survive and Thrive is open now.
Oh, is it?
Survive and Thrive.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
through
Yeah.
Exponential Impact. That small business loan program is open for applications right now.
Yes,
Right,
through
yeah.
end of May, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
And don't forget to go pick up your copy of Forge Your Future by Ron Hardman. I have my copy. What are you waiting for?
I have my copy.
I don't have any copies. Right, yeah, it's on Amazon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, pick up my books on Amazon as well. There's 3 of them available for you right now. We're beginning the production of your personal leadership coach, book number 4. Lisa's going to be
Yes,
in it.
sir.
And if you are a leadership person in our community or beyond, reach out to me. We'd love to collaborate. You should be in that
You
book.
should be
I'll
in
reach
that
out to
book.
you, my
Yes.
friend.
All right.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's a book that's coming as well. Thank you for being with us on Monday. The great Lisa Sennett has been with you with her amazing chief resilience coach in Colorado Springs, and she has a podcast, Lisa Sennett Resilience. Is that right?
My Resilience Reveal with Lisa Sennett. I am unpacking people's incredible resilient life stories. So definitely hit me up if you have a story to share.
Indeed. We'll be back with you next Monday. And I know it's going to be hard to top this show.
Yes,
You
my
guys
goodness.
are off the chain.
I mean,
I'm telling you.
you brought the fire today.
Yes, you
Kill
did.
boys.